Hello everyone! Welcome back to another video brought to you by the Hygge Public Library. Today I'm going to be kicking off our brand new month of Try-Brarians where myself and our teen service librarian Gabby are going to be here trying out some new things. This month we are focusing all on the idea of Hygge. So for those of you who may not know what Hygge is, it is kind of like a new principle, like a thought, kind of like idea that basically is like finding comfort in the simple things and like the little things in life, getting cozy and really digging into comfort in all things cozy. So we're going to be kicking that off. And today I'm going to be starting off with a simple little project that's great for adults as well as little ones. And that is coming up with your own kind of sensory stress toys. Today I'm going to be focusing mainly on creating your own self-soothing putty. So if you're like me, someone who always talks with their hands, I get great comfort with being able to manipulate things. I have fidget cubes and spinners and all sorts of things just to keep my hands busy while I'm focusing on other tasks. And one thing that I really love playing with is Think Putty. But the branded Think Putty can get kind of expensive, and maybe you just want to try out a couple of different things before you realize what is your sensory device of choice. So I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways in order to make your own simple fidget putty. So there is one that makes kind of like a more solid putty, and that's like the tried and true way. If you're familiar with making slime, maybe you've already made this one. But to make the putty slime, you need a 1/4 cup of glue and then a 1/4 teaspoon of borax mixed in with a 1/4 cup of water. Mix those together until it's nice and gooey and fun to play with. Today I don't have borax, but I do have some other ones that I'm not super familiar with, so I thought I would try them out and play with them with you guys here. So the first one we're going to do is you're going to need cornstarch and flavored gelatin. I have unflavored gelatin here just because I want to play with adding some of my favorite essential oils. So this first one, I'm going to go ahead and grab my bowl, my mixing utensils, and my measuring spoons. So the first one is I'm going to go ahead and add in my unflavored gelatin. So it calls for 1 packet of Jello, whatever flavor you want. Again, I'm using unflavored Jello just to see how it turns out. And then I'm going to be adding, the recipe itself calls for a 1/2 cup of cornstarch, but I don't need that much of it just because I have small hands and I want it to be able to fit in my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and add in just 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix that up really well. Have some corn silk in there. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of water until it gets to the consistency that I need. So I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be right back. Alright, so now I have my water and I'm just going to add just a little bit as well as a few drops of essential oils. Again, just to give it a nice sensory smell, a nice calming smell. This one is called Peace, Pure Balancing Essential Oils. So I'm mixing it up here. It's starting to get a little stiff, so I'm going to add just a bit more water. There we go. And you know that if you mix cornstarch and water, you get that oobleck, or that non-Newtonian stuff that's fun to play with. So I've mixed it up until I can't mix it with my spoon anymore. And now I'm just going to mix it with my hands. All right, so it's still a little crumbly, so I'm going to add a little bit more water and see where it goes. Just a scotch. All right, so it smells amazing. And this one is a bit of a stiffer one. It looks like it's still a little crumbly, so maybe I'm going to have to add more water and see how that one goes as well. Maybe I added too much water for this one. Maybe just enough. The thing I like about using the cornstarch instead of like the borax is it's especially nice if you have little ones around or pets who like to eat things. I know my cats love to put things in their mouths when they're not supposed to. And this one is relatively non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about them. If it does get ingested by little ones or furry friends, it's not going to hurt them because it's just cornstarch and Jell-O. So as you can see, I now have it into a nice soft dough, and it's good to just toss back and forth between my hands. You know, if I'm sitting at my desk, squish it back into the bowl. And again, it's a nice little sensory textile thing to help you relieve stress or help you focus, whatever you might need a fidget toy for. All right. So that's the first one. That is the Jell-O and the cornstarch. All right, so this next one, I'm really interested to see, is I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch again. All right, there's my cornstarch. And now I'm going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of dish soap. Now, I've never seen one made with dish soap before, so I'm really interested to see how this one goes. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I might have to add some water. We'll see. I'm using the Dawn dish soap, so it's going to have a nice blue tint to it. Again, mixing it up until I can't mix it with a spoon anymore. Oop. And then comes the fun part, just getting in there with your hands and your fingers, mixing it up a bit more. Ooh, this one's a bit more sticky. Ooh, but it holds together pretty well. So yeah, this one is like a nice fun blue. This one's a bit more squishier than the other one. It reminds me of, like, you can make your own like stress balls by filling like a regular birthday balloon, filling it with cornstarch, and then you have another type of sensory toy, another stress ball type thing. So yeah, that's how the second one worked. And again, it stays together pretty well. It's a little crumblier than I thought it would be. All right. This is also a lot of fun if you like making a mess. I'm a fan of making a mess, so be prepared for that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try out this last one, which uses conditioner. I've heard this called cloud dough before as well, so it's going to be fun. All right, so this one calls for 2 parts cornstarch. So for that, again, I'm just going to use 2 tablespoons. Oops. So I'm going to use my 2 parts cornstarch and 1 part conditioner. So this one is, again, in one of my favorite scents, so I can have it scented however I want it to be. And I'm going to go ahead, scoop that right in there. And same as the first, I'm gonna go ahead and mix that all in. It smells so good. I have it like a grapefruit scented. Ooh, this is fun. This one's like a lot fluffier than the other one. All right, so again, I'm gonna get in here and mix it with my hands. Ooh, this one's really sticky. So I might have to mix this with the spoon a little bit more. I'm doing this at my workstation, but I would probably recommend doing it by the sink because you will get messy and make a mess everywhere. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit more cornstarch so it's not quite as sticky. And I'm just going to dump a little bit in there. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's a little bit better. Alright, so once you work a little bit more, it becomes a little less sticky. This one definitely feels the best, even though it is a little bit stickier. But again, you can roll it into a ball however you need it, and as you do work it a little bit more, it becomes a little less sticky. This one holds together a lot better than the other two did. Oh. Yep, you can see it's all coming off my hands. I like this one the best. I thought I was going to, and I definitely like it the best. And now this is something that you can keep like in a tin at your desk. It is made with perishables, so, you know, be sure to keep an eye on it. Make sure you're not growing anything scary in your therapy dough. But yeah, now I'm probably just going to end up sitting at my desk all day long, just passing this back and forth. But yeah, let me know if you guys do end up trying any of these, if you find one that works best. I think the one that's going to hold the best together is going to be the original putty slime, which uses glue and borax. But I wanted to try something else out that used few ingredients, something that was less toxic, and something that I could make right out of my pantry. So, and all it took was, this one was just 2 parts cornstarch, 1 part conditioner. And it holds together really well. It passes, it breaks apart and puts back together super nicely. The dish soap was okay. I think I might want to add a little bit of water to that in order for it to stick together just a little bit better. And then our first one was the Jell-O, and 1 packet of Jell-O and the equal parts cornstarch. That one worked out pretty well as well. So that's what this one is. This one is a little bit stiffer and a little more crumblier. And then this one was really super crumbly as well. But it seems to harden pretty well. So if you need something that's stiffer and harder, then that's the dish soap one. So thanks for hanging out while I made a mess as we kick off our Hygge celebration. So be sure to be checking back with us on every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Gabby and I will either be releasing a video or going live and having special events all month long that are going to be celebrating the nice coziness and relaxing, inspired train of thought that is Hygge. So be looking forward to all of those, and be looking forward to seeing Gabby's next week. All right. I will see you all again next time. Bye-bye!